Back to Dan's Miscellaneous Ramblings, episode 165. I don't really have a clever intro for today. Actually, wait, no, yes, I do. We have 1,959 downloads, meaning we're just shy of 2,000, which I think is pretty cool. Okay. We're talking about mountains today. Why are we talking about mountains? It's because I found a great riddle about mountains. I'm going to share the riddle before I do anything, because I think it's a good riddle. Before Mount Everest was discovered, what was the tallest mountain on Earth? All right? I'll give you a moment to think on that. Here, give me a sec. There we go.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All right? You got an answer? I'll give you a drum roll for it. I'll give you a little extra time. Don't worry. Okay, I'm going to say it now. The answer is Mount Everest. Yeah, the tallest mountain on Earth was still Mount Everest. That didn't change just because it wasn't discovered. Yeah, that's it. If you got that, then... And if you didn't, then, wow. Well, that was productive. All right, let's talk about mountains. Woo! Type in mountain to the old Wikipedia bar. Mountain is an elevated portion of the Earth's crust, generally with steep sides, that show significant exposed bedrock. No, not like Minecraft bedrock. Like lithified rock that lies loose under softer material. It's rock. It's just big rock, I guess. Oh geez. Now it's way too early to be yawning. I did not get much sleep last night. But I'll talk about that after I talk about mountains a little more. How about that? That sound fair to you? Yeah, it does. It sounds fair. Don't worry about it. Mountains. Mountains are formed through tectonic forces, erosion, or volcanism, which acts on timescales for up to tens of millions of years. Once a mountain building ceases, mountains are slowly leveled through the action of weathering, slumping, or other forms of mass wasting, and through erosion by rivers and glaciers. Slumping. Slump is a form of mass wasting that occurs when a coherent mass of loosely consolidated materials moves down a short distance down a slope. Oh, so that's things like a rock slide. Okay, so an earthquake shock could cause it. Okay, that makes sense. If you didn't know, tectonic forces, you know the big plates that are kind of make up the Earth's surface that sort of float around and they like bash into each other every once in a while? That exists. Erosion. That's just, things wearing away, usually because of water, but also because of other things. And volcanism, volcanoes, eruptions, stuff like that. The big boom when it comes to geology, I guess. I don't know. High elevations produce colder climates than sea level at a similar latitude. These colder climates strongly affect the ecosystems of mountains. Different elevations have different plants and animals. Because it's less hospitable when you get higher, they tend to be less used for agriculture and more for resource extraction like mining and logging, and recreation like mountain climbing and skiing. The highest mountain on Earth is Mount Everest in the Himalayas of Asia, whose summit is 8,850 meters above sea level. Mean sea level, whatever. It's fine. Mean sea level is the average level of the surface of one or more of Earth's bodies of water from which heights such as elevation can be measured. The highest known mountain on any planet in the solar system is Olympus Mons on Mars, whose summit is 21,171 meters. Oh, wait, I should probably say the feet conversions. So the summit of Mount Everest is 8,850 meters, which is 29,035 feet. There's like 5,000, 5,280 feet in a mile. So that's like 5, 10 feet. That's like almost 6 miles tall. That's ridiculous. That's also like almost 9 kilometers tall. Because it's easy to do that conversion because, the metric system makes sense. And Olympus Mons is 21,171 meters tall, 21 kilometers tall, or 69,459 feet. That's, let me do some math here. That's 14 miles tall. That's, jeez, wow. Olympus Mons is such a cool mountain. It's actually technically a shield volcano, and it's one of the largest volcanoes, as well as being the largest mountain known. It's about 2.5 times the size of Mount Everest, and it's just, dude, it's just massive. Looking at the size of it, I'm seeing a comparison of it with France, but I don't know exactly how helpful that is to like say over a podcast. Whatever. It's fine. Because it's just really big. That's why it's cool. Okay. That's it. There's no universally accepted definition of a mountain. Elevation, volume, relief, steepness, spacing, and continuity have been used as criteria for defining a mountain. In the Oxford English Dictionary, a mountain is defined as a natural elevation of the earth, rising more or less abruptly from the surrounding level, and attaining an altitude which, relative to the adjacent elevation, is impressive or notable. In the United Kingdom and in the UK and the Republic of Ireland, mountains usually defined as any summit that's at least 2,000 feet or 610 meters high, which accords with the UK's government's definition of a mountain for the purposes of access is that summit. So, in addition, some definitions also include a topographical prominence requirement, saying that it has to rise 300 meters or 980 feet above the surrounding terrain. At one time, the U.S. Board on Geographic Names defined a mountain as being 1,000 feet, 300 meters, or taller, but has abandoned that definition since the 70s. Any similar landform lower than the height was considered a hill. However, today, the United States Geographical Survey, USGS, concludes that these terms do not have technical definitions in the U.S. The UN, the United Nations Environmental Programme's definition of mountainous environment includes any of the following: elevation of at least 2,500 meters or 8,200 feet, elevation of at least 1,500 meters or 4,900 feet with a slope greater than 2 degrees, an elevation of at least 1,000 meters or 3,300 feet with a slope greater than 5 degrees, an elevation of at least 300 meters, 980 feet, with a 300 meter, 980 foot elevation range within 7 kilometers, or 4.3 miles. Using these definitions, mountains cover 33% of Eurasia, 19% of South America, 24% of North America, 14% of Africa. As a whole, according to these definitions, 24% of Earth's land mass is mountainous. Oh, that's quite a bit. I mean, mountains are just pretty cool. They're very tall. Let's see, geology. There's 3 main types of mountains. Volcanic, those are the ones with volcanoes, like they go boom. Fold, which are formed by the effects of folding on layers. And block, which are basically just big blocks of rock that are shot up into the air. So, all 3 of these are formed from plate tectonics. When portions of the Earth's crust move, crumple, and dive. When compressional forces, isostatic uplift, which is the state of gravitational equilibrium between the crust and mantle, so the crust floats at an elevation that depends on its thickness and density. An uplift is an event that leads to both structural deformation and compositional differentiation between Earth's lithosphere, which is the sphere at which rock is found, the surface, and the convergent plate margins. Jeez, okay. I am not a geologist. Volcanoes are just cool. Volcanoes happen when a plate's pushed below another plate or an ocean, a mid-ocean ridge or hotspot. At a depth of around 100 kilometers, melting rock occurs in the rock above the slab due to the addition of water and forms magma that reaches the surface. When the magma reaches the surface, it often builds a volcanic mountain, such as a shield volcano or a stratovolcano. Let's see. A shield volcano is a type of volcano named for its low profile, resembling a warrior shield laying on the ground. Whereas a stratovolcano is built up by many layers and is a very steep type of volcano. Examples of volcanoes include Mount Fuji in Japan and Mount Pinatubo in the Philippines. Magma does not have to reach the surface in order to create a mountain. Magma that solidifies below ground can still form dome mountains, such as the Navajo Mountain in the US. A dome mountain is a feature in structural geology consisting of symmetrical anticlines that intersect each other. So they make a bunch of domes, basically. That's pretty cool. Fold mountains happen when two plates collide. Collide. I can speak. It's been a really, really long night for me. I didn't really go to sleep till like 4 or something because I decided to have a sleepover for the first time in many years. Oh, jeez. And I have gotten a little bit of sleep. My voice isn't perfect for podcasting right now. I'm sure you can hear the gruffness of it, I guess. I don't know. I'm just vibing. Tomorrow's going to be a much more energetic day. Mountains. Fold mountains happen when two plates collide. Shortening occurs along thrust faults and the crust is over-thickened. Since the less dense continental crust floats on the denser mantle of the rocks beneath, the weight of any crustal material is forced upward to form hills, plateaus, or mountains. So the crust is much thicker under these mountains compared to lower-lying areas. Rock can fold symmetrically or asymmetrically. The upfolds are anticlines and the downfolds are synclines. So an anticline is... Okay, syncline is a fold with younger layers closer to the center of the structure, where an anticline is the inverse. So it looks like anticline kind of goes up and syncline goes down, it looks like. I don't know. In asymmetric folding, there may also be more words. Recumbent and overturned folds. The Balkan Mountains and Jura Mountains are examples of fold mountains. Wow. The thing is, they're very, very long. They're very long and thin because they're all around those faults. Block mountains are caused by faults in the crust, a plane where rocks have moved past each other. When rocks on one side of a fault rise relative to the other, it can form a mountain. The uplifted blocks are block mountains or horsts. That's a good name for them. The intervening drop blocks are termed graben. Graben? Oh, so it's when you have one that goes up and one that goes down. The one that goes up is a horst, and the one that goes down is a graben. Neat. These can form be small or form extensive rift valley systems. This form of landscape can be seen in East Africa, the Vosges and Rhine Valley, and the Basin and Range Province of Western North America. These areas often occur where regional stress is extensional and the crust is thinned. There's also erosion, where things rub on the mountains so much, like rain, that the mountain's I don't want to be here anymore, and then all the rock goes away. The end. Well, I'm pretty much done with talking about mountains. I mean, there's a lot more to say. Mountaineering, superlatives of things like the biggest mountains or the most voluminous mountains or whatever. And lots of ecology stuff, but unfortunately it's time for the song that's been in my mind all episode. Today's song that's been in my mind all episode is going to be Violet by the Bad Sons. It's pretty good. That's all I have to say. I hope you all have a wonderful day. And I forgot to hit the comedy button, so I was walking down the street, and I saw a sign that read, Wood-Fired Pizza. Wood-Fired Pizza? How's pizza gonna pay the bills now? All right. I hope you all have a wonderful day. I'll catch you all next time, and good.